Howdy, hey people of the internet. My name is Writer of Videos, aka Thomas the Imagineer. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is the lovely face that's been behind the camera this whole time. I am the sole proprietor, editor, videographer, designer of everything on this channel since it began in late 2013. God, it's been a long time. So without further ado, my name is Spencer Ferguson, although I'll be going by Right Year on this channel just to go with the name of the channel and everything. For the past 7.5 years, I have been working on this channel. I am a die-hard Disney fan, especially the theme parks and the movies. I love them all to death, especially growing up with the theme park, all those. Especially with growing up with all those, it was a lot of fun and helped me through a lot of stuff. A lot of good times too. I have a lot of great memories from growing up, going to the parks and watching movies at my home with my family. In addition to that, I'm also a die-hard Star Wars fan. Not the negative side that people tend to orient. Not the negative side that people tend to orient with these days. I love all the movies on varying degrees, but I think they're all good on some level. I love all the TV shows. I'm also a big Pixar fan. I'm a big Marvel fan, if this wasn't obvious. And in addition, I'm also big fans of the Jurassic Park franchise and Back to the Future, and a couple of non-Disney stuff, but this channel's mostly giving me my Disney stuff. So if you've been following me for a while, you've probably been wondering what's been going on these past few years, and to fully understand it, I'm gonna dive into the history of my involvement with YouTube and the channel. So let's rewind the clock back to 2008 when my dad was uploading to his channel, The Bugger 2000, from videos of our trips to Disneyland of different rides, shows, and experiences that we had in the parks. And I was there to help him a little bit, but they're just mostly because we always went to the parks together. And then being the teenager I kind of wanted to do my own thing. So I ended up in 2013 shooting my own videos and starting my old version of this channel called Thomas the Imagineer, because I was still going through a little bit of the Thomas the Tank Engine phase, but it did not last too long after that, sadly. So that part of the name really didn't make much sense afterwards, but I still was doing a lot of Disney stuff. I videoed everything I could. I videoed everything I could, and I thought I could, at the parks. And eventually in 2013, I started shooting videos on Disney Infinity, which was my favorite video game. Mostly as a Disney fan, just because I'm not much of a die-hard gamer. I basically just played Halo and Disney stuff growing up. We were lucky enough to come across a recording device to help me record videos from my Xbox 360 to my computer at the time. So I eventually evolved it into Disney Infinity videos, just because I didn't think there'd be too much in the parks to video, although quit right before the 60th started, essentially. A few stuff I was able to get around that time. And things were going alright for a while, and then 2016, which held the previous title of Worst Year of My Life. And not to get too personally into it, but just know that it was a really rough year for me emotionally. My depression and anxiety went through the roof. I had a hard time adapting to my first year in college. And not to mention the fact that Disney Infinity unfortunately got canceled. But came a light at the end of the tunnel, which was me getting accepted into the Disney World College program, which I've never been before. I am a California boy, and it's expensive to live here, so my family wasn't fortunate enough to go before then. So for basically all of 2017, I was working at Disney World as a college program participant. Initially, I was hired in as parking at Animal Kingdom, which basically are the people who tell you where you park your cars, drive the trams, talk on the trams, and also they include the toll booth at some point for college program participants. And for the second half of my program, I was a PhotoPass photographer at Animal Kingdom, although I did get to work a few shifts at the other parks, so I did get to work all four, in case you're wondering. And that was a lot of fun. I loved both those roles so much. It was a great experience that I'll never forget. And it helped me get my foot in the door for the Disney company. And in 2018, I was lucky enough to get into the Disneyland College program in the custodial department for Disneyland Park. So that basically was like a few weeks gap between when Disney World ended and Disneyland began. And it was chaotic, to say the least. Moving back and getting adapted back to Californian life. And I stayed in part-time after my college program ended. But I knew I eventually wanted to move on to a different department at the company. As much as I appreciated and liked being a custodian, I knew I wanted to do something else. So I ended up applying, interviewing, and being accepted into the PhotoPass department at the resort, which was probably the highlight of my career with Disney. It was such a fun time. I got to do so many wonderful and amazing things. Not to say that the other roles I didn't. This just felt more like my thing. It was my spark, if you are familiar with the soul terms. I got to be creative. I got to be fun and zany, not have to worry too much about things going wrong. In a grand scale of things going wrong, I got to focus on taking pictures, having fun, being creative, and all that fun stuff, which was a blast. But then 2020 had to rear its ugly head. Yeah, that was a rough year, so at least. Yeah, the parks closed on March 14th. I worked the last day on March 13th, and then came in after work to pay my respects to the park. And it still hasn't reopened, unfortunately. Please wear a mask if you want these parks to reopen. I want customers to go back to work. No matter what you may believe, it'll make a difference, believe me. And so October rolled around, and unfortunately, due to billions of dollars of loss due to the pandemic, due to the global pandemic, unfortunately, Disney had to lay off 28,000 cast members in the Parks Experiences Products division, whatever this division of the company was, which includes the parks, cruise lines, and the Disney stores and all that stuff. And most severely affected were the theme parks, including Disneyland, which I was working at, and included my department severely, sadly. But as unfortunate as it was, I'm not really mad with them about it. And I unfortunately understood it. It's a bad situation for everybody involved. All in it. I don't envy the people who had to make that decision, sadly. And at least half glass full perspective, I got to honor the end of the journey for now at the place where it began in November when I made a trip to Disney World, which is where all my 4K videos came from. So where does that leave us? Well, I'm currently unemployed, but I'm going to be looking for a job that I feel safe doing during this pandemic right now. To tide me over mostly until I can get a job back with Disney. Hopefully soon, whenever they reopen. I'll keep you guys posted. But in the meantime, I'm going to be trying to make a lot more videos for this channel. Mostly in the frame of discussion videos with me involved, so get used to seeing this face a lot more. I'm going to be doing a lot of discussions on the park specifically. Mostly just general discussions, and with a few imagineering ideas I have for the parks, like new lands, new rides, and all that fun stuff. And occasionally I'll do a review of like a new ride or a new show or new park product that isn't like a t-shirt that I collect, given all of this stuff I've gotten these past few years. A little bit of a collector, you might say. So wrapping this all up in a semi-pretty little bow, I just wanted to say to everybody who's been following this channel for the past forever, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means so much that you guys still stay with me, even though I took a few years off because of work and life getting in the way. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these new videos. Feel free to do all the YouTube jazz right now. Leave a comment for any suggestions for videos that you want to see me discuss. It has the one rule being that it has to retain to the Disney parks. Just because that's where my focus of the channel will be. I do promise one day when the parks reopen here in California, I will be doing new 4K videos of the rides, including the new Snow White Ride, the new Jungle Cruise, and so on and so forth. So until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this little peek behind the camera. And I hope you guys enjoy all the new videos I'm working on. It's been a process, and I know it's been a rough year for everyone, so I appreciate the viewership. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you all real soon.